Did you make this?
Yes.
Wow. So which is better? Is this roof or the other one?
It's cooler, unlike the metal.
This is cooler,
This
right?
one is cooler.
But it doesn't. You need to maintain it very often, right?
With this, you have to maintain it maybe once after maybe 3 years.
Oh, really?
3 to 5 years.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of work to maintain, though.
It's one should be used to it.
You're used to it.
Because-
But like, why are you changing to the metal one instead of like this?
It's the grass is much going shorter now.
Really?
Because of the rains, we don't actually receive much in many years. We see maybe
Okay.
once in a year we've got good rains. 2 years, poor rains.
So you're not getting enough of a supply,
So we
yeah?
do not get enough of the supply unless we go maybe far from here to maybe one get town to look
Yeah.
for the grass.
So you collect it yourselves, or yeah, you collected yourselves
Yes.
the grass?
Yes.
Wow. So if you had the choice, you would still like to use grass, right?
Yes, actually.
Me too. I like it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. So you can go in.
I like the way he looks around.
Welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Mentis Summer House. I will first introduce myself. After that, then you introduce yourself. My name is Esnat Mentis. I'm married to Mr. Mentis. I'm 46 years. I got 4 children. They are only boys. Then I got 3 grandsons, 2 girls, 1 boy. I'm a farmer. At irrigation scheme about 3 kilometers where I go to the irrigation.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
What do you farm? What do you have?
There we grow vegetables, maize now, but it's only time for maize. So we grow maize there.
Right. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks. Debaka.
I don't know if she wants to introduce all of them, and then we introduce ourselves.
Okay.
And then we'll get into the question and answer. Yeah.
It's first that she has introduced herself, then you introduce yourselves one by one, then finally the neighbors, and we know each other for maybe in that particular few minutes.
Okay.
Okay. I'm Bob.
How old are you?
Would you ask a lady?
Come on, Bob.
74.
Your age is your name, maybe surname, where you come from, how many children you have,
Okay.
what they are doing, and maybe something else you can add by yourself.
Okay.
That's you are free to say any of those words.
I'm Robert. I'm 60. 2 boys. I'm a mechanic.
California, and they're doing well.
Thank you very much. You've taken my husband from California. You left with my mentions.
San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
Do you know who the Raiders are too? The Oakland Raiders? It's another football team. Very close.
Who cares, Valerie?
They're going to Vegas.
All right, my name is Blessing. I come from Boston, and I have 11 children.
Thank you, Daddy.
And I'm 25 years. I sit for my grade 11 final exams in 2009. And I sat for 6 subjects. And I came out with flying colors in all those subjects.
Great.
Wow.
Then I once got the opportunity, being employed by the government to go and teach for temporary basis in remote areas. That was in 2012 and 13, and I taught for 2 years. Then later on, the government banned the further recruitment of the so-called temporary teachers due to financial instability in the country. So that is when I left from the teaching department, and I am home. And from the experience I got from teaching, like what I said in the house there, I usually teach other local students who are still doing their ordinary level. So I usually assist them in mathematics, English, and any other subjects. So, and I usually do them free of charge. That is why I'm here.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So morning once more. I'm Calvin
His hat's
Matches.
off.
I'm Calvin Matches, one of the villagers in the area. I think the whole story has been said by Mrs. Matches, and so you are welcome. Be free and almost feel at home.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Hwange Makwara. I'm married. I'm a mother of 3 boys. I'm Hwange Makwara, a mother of 3, 2 boys and 1 girl. I'm married and I'm 35 years old.
Okay.
Chini Mose. Chini means, how are you?
Good. How are you? We're great.
I'm Marianne. I'm 36 years old. I'm married.
I had to change my battery. You wouldn't believe how hot it is in the bus and how cold it's in there.
We keep family registers. That is, everyone within this community has to be registered in any emergency. Then we settle disputes. That is, any minor perils that happens to be in the community. Something could be maybe of elopement, where minors are impregnated whilst they haven't yet completed school. Then we see to it that all our children go to St. Mary's Primary School. All youngsters have to go to St. Mary's Primary School.
Thank you.
Then the elders that will have completed is our school terms we run from grade 0 to grade 7. That will be primary for the minors. And what you call grade 8, 9, 10, and 11, that is where we have our secondary school children. That is, here we call it Form 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we don't have Form 5 and 6 locally, but to those who say might come up with distinctions have to change place. That is going maybe to Hwange town or somewhere else for further education. And colleges, they have to go maybe outside the Hwange place. So then we have to report any outcomes of, say, elephants or the lions we were discussing of. If we happen to find a lion maybe on top of that hill, we have to report it to the rural district council, who have scouts like those in the national parks. They have guns. They might shoot or maybe scare the animal to go back into the national parks. For the animals are supposed to be in the national parks, unlike to be within the people. So it's free people, no animals, except those they domesticate. Then we may warn each other of maybe any outbreak of certain diseases that might come through animals, like foot and mouth from the buffaloes, or Newcastle from wild birds and chicken. From maybe wild birds, we can have a disease like Newcastle. So some zoonotic diseases which the government has to go in for us to maybe wipe away the disease. The government has to put a hand. Then all in all, I'm happy to have visitors like you who at times we might have seen some of the visitors of your kind maybe from as far as January, which will be long there. So we are almost there. I think everyone here is happy to meet new friends.
We're happy to meet you too.
Yes.
Thank you.
Are there any questions?
What men do?
What men do?
So as for duties of men, some of the duties were of the ex I was already explaining of there. And here it will be only an addition will be this part. That will be the heads we use for carving. So these handles are to be carved using these heads. Then the duties of men actually need power. Like this is the only particular chainsaw of Africa we have. So it needs muscles.
Yes. Yeah.
So we have to, it's like when I was talk of men constructing something of like this shed. It is the men who will have to go in the bush and cut the poles. These poles, cut the poles, maybe carry them on your shoulder, back into the village until the number you like is reached. Then from there, the men still more will have to dig down the poles, then put something like the beam to sustain the roof. Then one will have to make a scaffold of poles as well, such that one will stand on top of that scaffold to join up those these poles again for the roof. So one will be on the scaffold, one on the ground, such that when you tie on top, the one at the bottom have to tie on the bottom, such that it will no longer move. So if you can tie 3 of them, which means there will be no movement again. Then the 4th and the rest, which means everything will become firm. Then later on we put these, I would say, pay lines. That's the type of pay lines we use. So we put them here while they are pliable. Then we use them. Then later on, the main still more is to fetch. So we make still more a ladder out of wood. So you make a ladder such that you can climb up and fetch. That will be men's work, and maybe many other renovations that the axe will be used on. To cut maybe the poles for the fencing. We'll clear maybe the bushes, say if it is time to prepare in our fields, the men still more is to cut the bushes and shrubs. Then there's a period we are almost do something like what used to happen, farming, something they used to do in Zambia, whereby you have to collect most of the things, you heap them, then burn. Then that's how we do our clearance. That will be men's work, and maybe heading of cattle during the rainfall season. We don't let them go by their own. So one is to check them time and again, such that you go with them in the bush, come back with them. No matter it rains, I understand what is something that is changing now is lightning can hit one, while if you happen to sit under the tree. when it is raining, but in our times we don't have raincoats. So one is to maybe go into the thicker part of the bushes. Is trying to hide maybe the harder falls of the rainfall. So in short, that could be what we do as men. Besides maybe Saturday and Sunday, some of us do drink. So they don't wash their throats. So it's those are some of the duties of men. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
How old can you vote?
Voting is from as far as 18 years and above. 18 years. Once one is 18 years in Zimbabwe, is said to be independent, so he can vote.
When one goes to the university, is that, number one, is it free? And where do they stay? Where do they live?
If one goes to the university here in Zimbabwe, it's not free.
Not free.
Not free. One goes to the university with cash. Cash at hand first before you go for even a single term.
He wants to go
Then
to his
later
sister.
on, it shows if you have that cash, you can stay within the particular university you are attend to.
Very cute.
Another question.
No, you had a question?
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I saw that you had a picture of Jesus. It looks like on the wall in the house.
Okay. Okay.
Do you have a day of rest? Is there a time where during the week that you try not to really do any work unless you have to?
So it's like it is today. Today we are maybe praying together, irregardless of what type of church we go to, but it's a Sunday.
Yes.
So we are Roman Catholics, so we attend our churches mostly on Sundays.
Okay.
So that's why you saw some of it. It was almost Roman, but we are of a mixed bag. We are a mixed bag.
Mixture?
Mixed bag.
Yes.
Some go to apostolic churches, some Pentecostal, and some Anglican or Roman Catholic.
But there is a time for religious prayer
So
together,
each
no matter.
one,
Yeah.
So each one of us has time to go to church.
Good.
This
Okay.
Sunday, which is Sunday.
Sunday, right. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
About the farmland. How do you distinguish or how do you get the property to farm?
To farm. So it's about the land to farm. It could be from, say, the family members. Like I'm from my father, I will attend the land from my father, and my sons from me. Is it understandable?
So land is passed on from
I
one
understand
generation to
that,
the
but
other.
supposing they want to make it bigger, supposing they want to, move, 100 more feet, do they have to ask permission from the government, or they can just expand on their own?
So it's from a land. Any individual in the village here is offered land by the village head.
Oh, okay. All right, that's what I
So
want.
this is the guy to talk to.
You can build your house, Bob. Real estate
You
agent.
see that badge there?
Yeah.
That's from the government.
Okay.
Okay. Does each village have limits? You go
Yes,
so far?
It has limits. Each village has limits, but we are a wider village. It's like in Zimbabwe, we have our villages have been divided into wards.
Okay.
So a village nowadays, what we mean of a village is meaning many homesteads.
I got you.
Unlike, I think in the olden days, it could be a village here being one single homestead. That is still there. But for us now, it will be a village concerning maybe 115 homesteads. And a population of, say, 434 within this community. So we are to head quite a number of people. Then as for land, we see to it that what I was talking of, the fields being on top of that hill, shows everyone has a field there. And the people in the community haven't yet filled up that crop. It still has place to cover. Then we've got places where we take our cattle for grazing.
I see this house is empty.
It's too much back.
What's the reason why you couldn't use it over or for somebody else since it's half built already?
This has been built, but its roof was blown out by the wind. So like it is asbestos roof. It's all the asbestos sheets that were on top were moved out of the roof by wind. Then they all were broken. So they were in pieces such that you cannot even, they are not easy to mend or put them anywhere. If it were the sheets like that one, they
stand up, Gary?
No, I'm fine. I'll stand up when I have to.
Is there anyone with a person?
Can I put it on?
Yeah.
You're stealing the badge.
You go with it, then I will find no way to give it to me.
So you're responsible for all the people, the 430 some people in this village. Ultimately, you're responsible for them.
Yes.
That's a big responsibility.
So it's a very big responsibility. I should head many of them. It's like within this village, I'm the senior village head in the community.
Yes.
And together we are 3, and I've got 3 juniors behind me. So we monitor everything as we are 3.
Wow.
Do you get paid for that?
No pay. It's,
I was going to ask.
The pay is this.
It's the honor.
Made out.
But let me say something. Well, from where I come from, okay, people like him who have certain privileges. Say, for example, if non-profits come into the area, if they want to initiate any programs, they have to start by him. Okay, so if it's aid, if it's any, programs that are being run by the government, by the non-profits, they have to see and liaise with the village heads. So you could, benefit from the system that way. Yeah, well, at least from where I come from, I'm sure it's almost the same.
Yeah,
as well.
It's actually the same.
Yeah.
So a non-profit doesn't have to go through the government first?
It depends with the kind of issues. You see, there are certain issues that they have to approach the government first, and then, or they may approach the government will say, go and see the village head, and then he has to administer whatever it may be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there one thing the government could do for them? One thing that the government can do that would improve their village's lifestyle or comfort or whatever?
Now you're speaking politics.
Well, I'm just...
No. That's a no. I can turn this off.
So they can actually grow and, do subsistence farming. Or wells, as you're saying.
Yeah, a water well.
Yeah,
would be
or pit
great.
latrines, toilets around the villages, and stuff like that. Yeah. Ms. Mafuga, you wanted to say something? Okay.
They are going to show you of what they have presented to maybe point out this and that. I think the beginning was by the doorstep where they used this termite mound, and now it is what we eat of.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now the women of California, they work very hard.
Not as hard as you.
They work hard, women of California. I wake early in the morning at 4:30. I make fire. Then I put a can of water. I go back to bed again. 5 o'clock, I wake up again. I start sweeping my kitchen with my broom. I will sweep.
Did you make the broom?
Yes. When I finish sweeping, then I take my can, and then I take my can, I put aside this side of my fire. Then I call my son to take water to go and bath. Then I prepare a porridge early in the morning when he goes to school. Then I take this baobab, dry fruits. It's what we use for cooking porridge.
Cooking what?
Porridge. Porridge for children to going to school. Then this one.
Here's your lunch. Go to school.
This one is the seeds of the porridge.
Oh, that's the
Yes.
seeds.
That's the seeds.
Yes.
So that's the seed of the baobab fruit. This the baobab fruit, you can taste it, but don't chew, you suck. Suck like a sweet.
When I finish doing that, I take warm water. Then I take my baobab fruits. I put inside the pot. Then I start stirring like that. Then when I finish stirring, then I whisk. When I finish, then I pour into another cup, in another dish. Then I return the water inside my pot. Then I whisk it with polenta. I streak my porridge for my son. Then when I finish, I put a bit of sugar to taste. Then when it comes day on bathing, wearing a uniform, then I give a porridge. Then you go to school. When I left I myself at home, I start going to the river. It is about 1 kilometer where I fetch water to the river. I catch about 4 buckets of water.
Wow.
Wow.
On your
A well would really
Yes,
go well.
on my head.
wow.
What about this one?
4 like this?
Oh my goodness.
4 of these? No.
Do you go 4 times?
Yes.
Oh, 4 times. Okay.
This one is more than the big ones.
20-liter bucket, which is
I guess opening this is not a big problem for them then.
When I finish fetching water, I start sweeping my height, all of my height. When I finish sweeping my height, then I start washing my plates. When I finish washing my plates, I will look the time for the lunch for my children. Then
And do you
I
look
start.
do you look up to the sun to see what time it is?
Yes, this time. When it's that side, I'll see that now it's 10 o'clock. When it's here, now I see that it's 12 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pasai in Zimbabwe.
Then at 10 o'clock, I'll be busy pounding. This one is millet.
Millet?
Yes, millet.
We grow millet.
You grow millet.
Yeah, they grow millet in Louisiana.
This one is polenta.
Polenta from millet.
Ducks and
I don't.
Then,
Did that make this?
yes,
Okay.
this one polenta from the one. This one is sorghum.
And polenta from sorghum.
Then polenta from sorghum.
Thank you.
So 2 different kinds of polenta.
When I finish pounding, then in the afternoon, you got different relish. Then this one's the cowpeas relish. Vegetables. Cowpeas.
relish.
Yes, try them.
Oh,
Yes. Then
Thank you.
Relish, but I'm not sure. Do you,
I think they.
do you understand?
we try them. This
what,
one is the
what
bush.
is their definition of relish compared to ours?
Seasoning?
Well, it could be vegetables, anything you eat with polenta.
Oh,
So
okay.
that
All right.
it is sort
Is a
of
relish. Okay, yeah.
Ours is usually like pickled
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So when they say relish,
Preserves.
it's anything you eat with palette.
This one,
Right.
bush okra. We try them.
And what is this again?
Cowpeas leaves.
Cow pea, dry cow pea leaves.
Cow pea. Okay.
Then when I finish that, I'll be cooking my polenta for my
Does it
children.
smell?
Not dry.
When you come to school, you'll find everything's already. Then there'll be another day. I don't have relish in the afternoon. Then what we do, we drink maheo, traditional maheo. So today we don't have relish. So today we drink, our lunch will be traditional maheo. So today we'll drink maheo.
Okay.
I want to show you.
Okay.
Don't have relish today.
Do the children come home for lunch from
Yes.
school?
From school, they don't come for lunch, but they come actually when they dismiss.
Oh,
far.
okay.
It's a distance, maybe say from here to primary school is 3 kilometers. So lunch is almost an hour. So they cannot run from there to home.
Yeah.
So they carry some of this traditional brew you see of that is my it does not intoxicate one. You drink it, then it's like
It's not alcoholic. It's not alcoholic.
So today don't have relish. So today our lunch will be maheo. So I'll put 1 cup of sugar. Stir it to taste. When I finish, I must taste.
She approves.
Today is our lunch. We don't have lunch.
Bon appetit.
No, thank you.
Too much sugar.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. You can try. Could we have some?
Anybody else?
Yeah.
So what is this what you were making
well.
earlier
Yeah.
with the hot water?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what you were making. What's it?
Tell us what you think, Clay.
I'm trying to figure out what it tastes like.
Slightly sour.
A little bit, yeah.
That's nice.
Interesting taste. I can't define it.
Do you make your baskets here?
The sugar, all the sugar.
So yeah, it's
probably
the
tones down
women's
tartness.
John?
duty.
That's why I think you
It's
got
their
sugar.
duties, especially
Make it
after
rhubarb
say
pie.
Yeah.
having done
Never
some of the
understand
chores.
rhubarb pie.
After when for a siesta, she must be doing that. Must be using
So we saw them this basket so that we must find money for paying our children school fees or for buying house items. So we sell them. Yes.
Okay, you see this?
Yes, they are beautiful.
These are the seeds.
What is your bowl made out of?
Oh, that bowl?
Yeah, what's the water bowl made out of?
That big pot, is it
Termite mud.
Termite what? What is it?
Termite mud.
termite mud?
Termite mud?
Did by termite.
Really?
They're handy little things to have around.
Long ago, when people they were going to the river to fetch water, they do like that.
Yeah, we tried to do that
Big
yesterday.
termite.
It didn't work so well.
No. You're gonna balance that whole thing? Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. That's good. Very good. That's good.
I dare you to get up with that.
Oh, she could walk all around with it on.
Or she could do that without any
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
When I'm coming to the river to fetch water.
Oh my god.
Wow, my god. Awesome.
It's almost waterproof, but not quite. Because I can see light.
They have great balance.
It is very tight.
Interesting.
I'll sit it for
He's got a question for you.
I've never seen anything about meat, you know, goats or chickens. How often y'all have that?
I'm going to punch in your book. Maybe it's the punch here. One was a question. I have to put there to the madam.
Maungu wele mbunzi. Anziso. Andina mbunzi wamtara nye nyama. Asa mujike nyama ere.
Nyama. Meat. Yeah, we eat once a month, or we eat on Christmas Day when we kill a goat. Oh. Christmas Day. Yes.
What about chicken? Chicken? Do you eat the chicken?
Chicken. Chicken once a week.
Once a week,
And
chicken.
what about the eggs?
Yes.
Do you make eggs?
Eggs? No, don't eat eggs.
Don't eat eggs?
Why?
No?
You don't like eggs?
No, it's not that they don't like eggs.
We like them.
But then the eggs have to hatch and become more chicken.
Right.
So
You're killing the chicken.
Oh, I never thought of
I
that.
carry my baby on the back. Now I'm preparing to go to the field with Mr. Menchis.
No problem.
Now I'm prepared to go. We are going to the field. It's about 3 km to the field. It's too far. Then we carry our luggages there. Then we make a small summerhouse there at the field. Because when it's raining, then we run there. There I'll carry all my luggages. On Saturday, I go with all my children to the field. So I want to show you.
You look so comfortable.
Okay, I'm going to the field. It's about 3 km. Where I'm going to the benches.
How's this picking everything up?
Then I go with my off.
So it will be when in the morning it will be men in front. So I'll be in front, going on top of that hill there. It is me in front. I think you know of the meaning why.
With my off.
Then in the evening, when going back, it is her. In front. Right, see, in the evening, it's men back. She'll be carrying the luggage with the baby, and me only the ex.
Nice to meet you.
I like the way he says that.
So it is.
When I come back home at the evening, then women come with firewood for preparing the last supper from their children. So women come with firewood when they come back home in the evening.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow. So I will come with my firewood. I'm going back home.
So it will be even 8 times. It is when from the field the lady might carry firewood. So it is the men will still more have this, because when you are to protect one, you don't have to carry many things.
Like the lion.
You hear that, Gary?
No, I heard, yeah. I caught on quick.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. But wait, why you go in the front in the morning and she goes in the front in the evening? Is it?
You gotta watch out for lions.
So it is. I'll be the protector then. It should be men has got maybe the skills of seeing better or about say the snakes, the animals and whatever. So it is. If she is in front, some of the times ladies will just move on without seeing whatever is taking place in the, say, on the ground or somewhere. The snakes do hide at times.
So in the morning it's darker.
It's darker.
During the day it's bright enough, the lady can be in front.
Okay.
So
now I understand.
Okay, so now we'll give them the opportunity to ask you questions as well before we get into... You're not going to get off that one, Clay. Before we get into your reports.
So,
okay, so she's... That lady there is asking if you practiced any of the things that you saw here back in the U.S.
I cook polenta.
Ari cooks polenta.
Okay.
But we don't.
But we doesn't pound it.
We don't pound it.
We don't.
Get it from the store, already pounded in a bag.
Like what treatment, especially like cancer nowadays. Cancer, something like heart failure.
Yes.
Maybe say a headache which is so strenuous.
Migraine. They call it
We call
migraine.
migraine.
Some are dying of it. It's something we are almost seeing. It's new.
Are you talking about meningitis?
Aneurysm.
Do you have what we call mental illness? Schizophrenia?
Psychosis. Of some
Yes.
sort. But they don't break it into its many, differences.
So there's very little treatment.
Yeah, very little treatment. Some of them just cannot normalize, just continue.
Right. Yeah.
Do you still use many plants or roots for treating different illnesses, like a stomach ache or something like that? Do you still use that, or do you try to go to a doctor?
We are still not. Like you see, some of us are born in the times of using the roots.
Yes.
And we actually know some of the roots to use. So some of us use the roots.
And that's still helpful for you? I mean,
yeah,
that's,
exactly.
you know which ones.
They go from your belief. Because once I dig down, I dig the root of almost the tree that is close here. If I've got a stomach ailment, I put that root in water, put on fire. Then once the water is warm, then I drink of it. I'm okay.
And you teach that as the boys grow up?
Nowadays,
you teach that?
Nowadays, you happen to teach them. They are going to school, so they will understand differently. So they want to go to the clinic rather than.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too bad.
How far is the clinic
Forgive
from
me
here?
for barging in. You wanted to say something?
No, how far do they have to walk for the clinic?
3 kilometers.
Walking
to go to clinic. How far?
The clinic is just close to the school. To St. Mary's Primary is almost 3 kilometers as well from here. So it's it goes different from maybe where you are located. It can be 3 point something, 4 kilometers away.
So when you vote, that's where you also go? You vote at the school?
When we go for votes, we vote at school, yes, which is almost the
caterpillar.
The
I didn't get a
distance.
good look at it.
It's exactly the same distance.
All right, so we're going to have Claire do her report. All right, we're ready for you.
I haven't been this nervous since I was in school. I don't like you anymore.
Since the last time you sang.
Okay, yesterday he gave us a job.
Okay.
An assignment.
An assignment.
I looked at it as a job.
Oh! He's too tall.
He gave us 2 words, and we had to go to the market and find them.
Thank you.
The first word was, I said it wrong 50 times. You say it.
Medora.
Good. Say it.
Medora?
Good.
No, wrong.
Well, you say Mado. We say
Medora.
Mado.
Medora?
Medora.
No, less R. Less R.
No.
Medora.
No.
Yes.
I think.
Anyway, we asked all over the market before someone could show us what this is. This is a worm found in the mopani tree. I said that right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually in the first rains from December to January, thank you God for one of our helpers at the camp. They're cleaned and then boiled. Once boiled, They're put either out in the sun or over a fire to dry, and it's used so that they can be stored and used later. You cook them with a tomato or onion relish, or you can eat them straight up fried.
Is this fried?
Are those fried?
Yeah, those are fried.
Those are fried. Well, those are cooked already?
Uh-huh. Did you see them?
No.
You can pass them around. Are you going to eat one?
I bet he eats a bunch of them. Good protein.
So these aren't the ones that you squeeze the stuff out. They are.
They
Okay,
squeeze
so
the
this is
guts
just the
out.
skin. This is just the shell. Okay. They're rich in protein.
Yes.
You gonna try one?
And they're very tasty.
Probably not.
Really? Blessing, what does it taste like?
Why don't you
We'll find out.
taste it and see?
Okay. I'm taking two of them.
Yeah, I'm going to give you all that one.
There you go.
I have to get up my courage now to taste it.
You want to be in
No,
Come on, do
I'm
it.
not tasting it. That's- Gary,
Okay.
hold one up each.
they're very nice.
Hold it up, Gary.
Chewy chicken. A little salty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they good, Gary?
Yeah.
So we'll have a small one.
Yeah. Go for it.
Hold one up, please.
Who like it?
Salty. Oops. Okay, well,
Come on, have one. Here.
I didn't put the case in there anyway. That's a little.
Yeah, they're fine. They're good.
Mm-hmm. They are good.
They taste almost like potato
Don't
chips.
open them up, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like chicken skin.
Pork rind.
Chicken.
Yeah, pork. Yeah, they
Pork
taste like
rinds.
Pork rind.
Pork rinds.
Do they eat them?
Just like the
Want that one?
They were in a.
No, but I
You know
want
the little. Oh, it was a
Yeah,
plastic.
that's what the inside looks
They
like.
came in a plastic bag, so I assume
Yeah, I would like
that
to see what the inside looks like.
Is that good?
squirts the guts out.
Good for you?
Yeah.
It tastes like a pork rind.
I don't know.
Pork rind, right? Closest thing we
Yeah,
have.
it's not bad, Jenny. Really, it doesn't taste bad.
And it's good for you. Lots of protein.
Now, do you?
It's wonderful. You have brought us something we would call a miracle. Do you eat these? We eat them, but they are not easy to find.
Really?
So we are happy.
Oh, I wish we could have bought you more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Today we have protein in our body.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Are these expensive compared to other things? These.
This is a cheap source of protein.
Yeah, the bag
it's
about
cheap.
a bag about that big was $1.
Oh.
Are you done, Claire?
Awesome.
All right, I'm just going to call Mr. Mafuka to quickly add a few things to the report. Mr. Mafuka?
That's okay.
They're quite nice. I enjoy them a lot. Now this Madora or Makimbi, as they call them here, they come from an emperor moth, which is quite a big moth like that.
Oh.
Very colorful.
Oh.
They fly around towards rainy season, and then they go behind the leaves of the mapani tree, and they lay their eggs there. And these eggs are bunched together, very beautiful white eggs. And then later on, they will hatch into tiny worm-like caterpillars. This is why they're called mapani worms, but it's misnomer. They're supposed to be called mapani caterpillars. Yeah. Because they're very tiny, they are like worms. But later on when they grow, they're big. They grow big like what they are.
That's
And
fully
this-
grown? That's fully grown, what we had, right?
Fully grown. And they then eat the leaves until they get such time they stop eating. They start forming a lot of fat in their bodies, ready to pupate. Right. They're no more eating. Now, some people take them while they're still in the tree. That's not it. They're supposed to come down, and when they come down, after not eating for some time, they don't have that green material inside, no chlorophyll. And then they're just yellowish inside. They go down, and while they're going down, this is the time we harvest them. And then we just take them, instead of gutting them, we just boil them because they've nothing inside.
Oh, okay.
And then we boil them. After boiling them, you put some salt and dry them in the sun. And when they are dry, they are ready. And you then can pack them in small packets if you want to sell some, and keep some in this small bag. That's for your home consumption. And you eat it.
How long do they keep?
Oh, they can go for years.
Really?
For a long time, yes.
Yeah. So do you pick them off the ground? Are they on the ground when you
They are
harvest
on
them?
the ground.
Okay.
Usually what they do, they go into these trees, find them, then they make a hole, a trench around that tree, several trees, so that when they come down, they go into this trench. They want to crawl out. They cannot. So they remain there. So they collect them while they're in that trench trying to come out.
Okay.
Because when they go into the ground, they sort of shrink like that and form into a pupa. Then from that pupa stage, they stay for some time, and then they burst into a moth again. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Good, good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Perfect. Yay.
So
It was good.
to us, it's a wonder. We are learning. So we say this particular part of the country has not that such well. So we are happy to know how we can actually collect it and do everything of the sort he was talking about. So we are happy, very, very happy, excited about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to try to see what it looks like inside.
How is it?
Oh.
It's a tobacco, local tobacco, but I guess you villagers know. And it's probably for us, it's snuff that you we use. And it's usually used by spirit medium. Okay.
You can smell it.
You can smell it.
You can smell it?
Yeah. No. Right.
This one is Sunday.
It's used by spirit by elderly members of society and traditional healers.
It smells like pipe tobacco.
And for ritual purposes. They also sniff. They sniff
Thank
it,
you.
and once they are lightened, they will be able to tell what lies ahead of them. Okay. Some sprinkle the stuff on you when you are sick to make you feel better. Some roll it up in a ball and put it under your tongue, and I guess they feel good.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Let's give it up for
Blessing.
Uh-huh.
Have they heard of this and have used this? Have y'all heard of this?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Who uses it?
It is used much by women.
Ah,
really?
Yeah.
I want to show you how we use it today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we learned something.
Really?
All right, if I can have your attention, Jenny, you nailed it.
Very good.
I don't have much to explain, but what I want to add on is that tobacco is not indigenous to Africa. Did you know that? No.
And that guy made it sound like that.
Yeah.
You know.
It is not. He doesn't even know.
Okay.
I doubt if they know too. It is not indigenous to Africa. It actually originated in the Americas. Yes. And the indigenous people of Brazil were the first to use tobacco as snuff. And around the 16th century, it was tobacco of choice amongst the elite. So this is ground tobacco made out of pulverized leaves. And because it's smokeless tobacco, that's why it was very popular in the 16th century. In some countries, of course, they believe that you can use it as an aphrodisiac. Countries like Zimbabwe, South Africa, Botswana, and the rest of Africa, they use it for nasal congestions, colds. You know, the more you sneeze, it opens up your nasal
sinuses.
Yeah, your sinuses, exactly. So locally here, like she mentioned, it is used for rituals like rainmaking, rituals like bringing the spirit of the dead upon the living. Remember when we spoke about the history of Zimbabwe, we spoke about spirit mediums, the Mondoros. Now, she could be a spirit medium, for example, and we've heard her speak. She has got a female voice. But if that spirit comes upon her, all of a sudden she starts speaking like a man. Yes. Now she's possessed with that spirit. And she begins to tell you what your problems are, what the problem in this family is. If there are certain rituals that you didn't do right, for example, if you didn't bury the elders right, if you didn't do the memorial service the way it should be done, then you have to correct that. If you're a son, this guy here, if he finds a job in the city and he forgets about his parents, these two people here can make, they can do some rituals and there will be a bad spell on him, okay, to remind him of where he comes from. And then if he goes to a traditional healer, the traditional healer, you say, young man, the reason why you can't even save, all your money is just, you can't seem to know where your money is going. The reason why is you need to go back and make things right with your parents. So snuff plays a very important role in our culture. You know, we spoke about HIV and AIDS. We have a lot of orphans around. They're abused left, right, and center. They can't find jobs. So in an attempt to connect with the spiritual world, their ancestors, they opened those channels by using snuff.
Oh, that's very important.
Feel like you're learning something?
Extremely, yeah.
Right. So that's your snuff. That's your Madora. Do we have any questions from both sides?
I do. When it's put under the tongue, is it chewed eventually like
some people
tobacco
chew it, or some people just throw it out because they're swallowing that nicotine.
Okay.
And there's different ways it's ground and all. Some of it's coarser that they put under their lip that they chew. You know,
normally they use malt and pestle made out of rosewood, so the tobacco will get that aroma from the rosewood. Yes.
The fine stuff is snuff. Is sniff. But if it's coarser, they call it chew.
Right.
All right. Any question? The question was, when somebody dies, what happens? Where do they bury the person? In the rural areas, we cannot afford to buy coffins. So the ritual is when somebody dies, we get a reed mat like this, you know, and then we wrap around the corpse. And then we go on the termite mound, dig the termite mound. Why? Because the soil there is solid. So we dig and then we bury in there, and then we put stones and then the soil back so that hyenas or dogs cannot dig into the ground.
Right.
And then of course there will be, you know, elders there. We perform rituals, you know, to honor the dead, and then we will have a memorial service afterwards.
Do you mark the
So, say?
Do you mark the grave?
Yes, we do mark the grave. So you'll find culture is playing a very important role as far as conservation is concerned, because then advox are associated with witchcraft because they dig into the termite mound.
Oh.
So according to the locals, they dig in the corpse of the dead, of the person that died. And yet in actual fact, they're looking for termites. But then we can't kill them and eat them because we associate them with witchcraft, and thereby we're conserving them. You know, things like owls, hyenas, they're associated with witchcraft. And that's tradition playing its part in conservation. Yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so let's quickly go to the bus and get our presents. They will put, I think, a red mat out there, and then we will present our gifts.
Now we gotta get
What happens? Do you want me to get up first and help you?
Oh, you mean what we bought for our presentation?
Hi, kitty pie. Hi. Hello. I forgot. Wait. Chini. Chini. How are you? Oh my God, you're fine. I'm fine too. You're so beautiful. Look at those eyes. My goodness. You're gonna be a heartbreaker one day. Women are gonna be all over you. What else do you know how to say? You speak English well or not? You do? Yes? Do you go to school? Yes? How old are you? How old are you?
How about a hat?
Oh, okay. Who's your mom? Who's your mom here? Who's your mom? What does this woman know?
Okay.
Hey, can I have one? Ah, thank you.
Your mom.
That's your son?
Yes.
Oh, he's beautiful and very polite.
Okay, thank you.
He has beautiful eyes, but you have beautiful eyes too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you're good. Anybody else for high five? Yay! Yay! You're a good. Oh, let me see your hands. We are singing now. Get together?
This is you have come. I think I'm so happy to have people like you in the homestead. For it is quite a long time without us seeing maybe white people within us. So I'm very grateful to have you around. Please, may the Lord bless you all.
Oh, thank you.
Bless you as well.
Likewise.
Alright, we can go down.
I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. All of you, thank you so much. Kumboga. Bye. Bye, sweetie. Bye. Bye, guys.
Yeah, join the picture.
Oops. Sorry. Thank you very much. Bye. Wow.
So much in my brain.
Such a nice visit.
Yes, that's why I take it.
Yeah. I just can't.
Oh, wow.
Now, why they doing laundry over here?
Coke? Yeah, yes.
This is where the water is from, huh?
Anyone else for beer?
It's broken. My maybe down.
That is hard work. And it's so hot outside. Oh,